All right, so now we're going to do lesson 8-2. And today we're going to talk about special right triangles. Now, the first page, I'm going to skip down to this bottom triangle. So this first triangle is a 45, 45, 90. So these are both 45 degrees. So these will both be x, and then right across from the right angle is x root 2. Okay, so now on the next page, I'm going to cross off 5 and 6. To do these questions, I have to look at this diagram. Let me see if I can maybe put it there. There we go, that works perfectly. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that the triangle is labeled correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to cross off all the variables because I don't want an h. I don't want this x there. I'm going to cross off everything that they have on here except for the numbers. Any numbers can stay, all the variables are going to leave because I want to label it the way I labeled this triangle. Okay, so number 1, here's the right angle. Right across from the right angle, I'm going to label it as x root 2. Right across from the 45-degree angles, we're going to label those as x. So after I label my triangle, I need to figure out what x is. Well, it's obvious right here that x is equal to 9. So I already know what this side is. If this side is 9, this side's also 9. And so all I have to do is put 9 there. So the hypotenuse is 9 root 2. So that was an easy one. If you already know what x is, it's easy to get the rest of the sides. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to label each side of the triangle. All right, number 2. So again, the hypotenuse is always x root 2. And then right across from the 45-degree angle are x. Okay, this time x is equal to 2 root 2. So I know what x is. So if this is 2 root 2, this is also 2 root 2. Well, now I'm going to put 2 root 2 in place of this x. And then I still have an extra root 2 there. So what I'm going to have to do is combine these root 2's together. So if I take the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, that's the square root of 4, which turns out to be just 2. So I get 4 for the hypotenuse. So now I have all the sides of my triangle. All right, moving on to number 3. So first I'm going to label the sides of my triangle. So the hypotenuse is always x root 2. And then the other 2 sides are x. Okay, this time I do not know what x is. But I do know that 6 is equal to x root 2. So I'm going to solve for x by doing that. So to solve for x, I have to divide over the square root of 2. But I cannot have a radical in the denominator, so I'm going to have to rationalize it. We did this a while ago, so we're going to have to multiply by the root 2 on top and bottom. So this is just going to be 6 root 2, because I can't multiply numbers and radicals together. And this is going to give us a square root of 4, which is just 2. And then one more thing I can do. This can divide to be 3. So now I know x is equal to 3 root 2. So this is 3 root 2, and this is also 3 root 2. All right, so some are more difficult than others. That one might be a more challenging one. All right, moving on to number 4. So right across from the right angle, which is the hypotenuse, that's going to be labeled as x root 2. And the other two sides are x. I do not know what x is, so I'm going to have to find it. So these two I'm going to have to set equal to each other. All right, so I'm going to have to divide over the square root of 2 to get x by itself. So it looks like x is just 15. So this side would be 15, and this side would be 15. So now I have all the sides of my triangle labeled. And again, some are easier than others. Okay, so that's the 45, 45, 90. Now we're going to do a different triangle. We're going to do the 30, 60, 90. Okay, so I'll just call this one 30, this one 60. All right, so on this one, the side that has x on it is the one across from 30. Right across from 90 is 2x. And then right across from 60 is x root 3. So these are labeled differently because it's a different triangle. So I'm going to have to look at this to answer the questions on the next page. And we're not going to do 11. So what I want to do first is what I did first last time. I want to cross off all the variables that I see. Okay, so on 7, I'm going to go ahead and label all the sides to my triangle. So right across from 30 is x. Right across from the right angle, which is the hypotenuse, is 2x. And then right across from 60 is x root 3. All right, now I do not know what x is. X does not have a number there, so I have to find it. So I do know that 5 is equal to x root 3. So I'm going to set those two equal to each other. And now I'm going to solve for x. So to get x by itself, I have to divide over the square root of 3. I can't have a radical in the denominator, so I have to rationalize it now, which means I have to multiply both top and bottom by the square root of 3. So I'm going to get 5 root 3 on the top. This is going to be the square root of 9, which turns out just to be 3. So now I know what x is. So x, which is this side over here, is 5 root 3 divided by 3. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to multiply x by 2. If I multiply x by 2, which is really 2 over 1, I'm going to get 10 root 3 over 3. I can only multiply the 2 and the 5 together because they're numbers. That's a radical. So 2 root 3 over 3. And now I have all the sides of the triangle. All right, number 8. First, I'm going to label the sides of my triangle. Right across from 30 is x. Right across from 90 is 2x. And then right across from 60 is x root 3. Okay, I do not know what x is. I do not have a number there. So here's where the number is. So I know that 8 is equal to 2x. So I have to figure out what x is. So if I divide by 2, I get x equals 4. So now I know this side is 4, and this is 4 root 3. And then that one's done. So again, some are easier than others. This one was way easier than the first one. All right, moving on to number 9. Here's 30. Right across from 30 is x. Right across from 90 is 2x. And then right across from 60 would be x root 3. I do not know what x is. I do not have a number there. But I do know that 2x is equal to 40, which means x must be 20. And this must be 20 root 3. Okay, moving on to number 10, the last one. So here's 30. Right across from 30 is x. Right across from 90 is 2x. And right across from 60 is x root 3. Okay, this time I do know what x is. It's 12. So this is going to be 2 times x, so 2 times 12 is 24. And this is just going to be 12 root 3. And now I know all the sides of the triangle. All right, and that was lesson 8.2 over special right triangles.